What was the essence of last night's movie?
Breaking down.
What was the name of the movie?
Touch and Avoid.
Yeah.
Breaking down this kind of supposedly impossible task into 20-minute increments to achieve it. And these guys were completely unprepared. They were unprofessional. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They
I give you this group.
had no training.
I give you this group.
They didn't know how to pull people out of a crevasse, which is just basic shit that they should have known how to do. And they didn't. One guy had 2 Prusik loops, which is ridiculous. No climber goes without 5 or 6 or more. You know, and he drops one and he can't climb up the rope again. You know, so.
And never give up.
Mm-hmm.
The slide we had yesterday where it showed a guy that was almost to the diamonds but gave up too soon. I mean, I've seen in 20 years of doing this now, and before, you know, in the 20 years prior that before I started coaching, I see a lot of people give up. And they've always got a good reason, though. My 9-year-old daughter got knocked up. My wife left me for a transvestite. There's all kinds of bullshit reasons. Always. It's never just because I'm a weak cunt and somebody had to put a bullet in my fucking head. It's never that. So that's the essence of it. Because bad things happen to good people, decent people, or even mediocre people all the time. And we often wonder, why don't bad things happen to bad people? Well, bad things do happen to bad people, and you know, Hitler, amongst others, got their just rewards, more or less. But the movie is, as Ricardo pointed out, all the things that he said, being not prepared, etc. But not being willing, not willing to give up, don't put yourself in a position to give up. I got some interesting comments about yesterday's role play. In addition to Marcus has toughened up his skin, and when he plays the banker, he takes it out on the would-be person or persons looking for finance. But the role play is probably as important a part for some of you, not all of you, because some of you are pretty smooth based on experience from over the years. But a majority of the people that come through here don't have that experience in the role play. They just don't. And it shows, and as we get into these and we start slapping the girls around a little, you'll see that they don't have the experience. Because the consideration and the other words, some of the words that have been used to describe what might be deemed as politically correct don't stand up in the real world. Don't stand up. I told you the story. We were in a venture capitalist in the late 90s, and they told my partner, we like the deal, but the kid's got to go. The young woman's got to go. That's how it is. Get the young bitch out. And in New York, it's Fast and Furious. Like there's a couple movies called Fast and Furious about race car drivers in prisons or something, I don't know. And that's the way it is. Now the British are a little more polite. The Dutch are kind of polite. I've never been to a venture capitalist in Romania, so I don't know. But in Russia and the other places, they're not that polite. In South America, they're kind of polite. But in New York City, it's just a number. It's a numbers game. They just want to roll you in and roll you out and get to a project that they feel that they can commit to. Silicon Valley is, because it's so competitive now and there's so many venture capital people up there, it's used to be, the farm, which is what they call Stanford University, because it was built on a farm many, about 100 years ago, is more a revolving wheel. It's like a merry-go-round now. They want you in and they want you out as quickly as possible. And but the role play is going to be something that that you can benefit greatly and put it into practice. And it's not just a role play looking for money, it's a role play looking for your dream team, your accountants, your lawyers, your chairman, your anchor chairman, so to speak. Over the years, we've had some pretty slick guys and gals that, based on their experience, we've had a couple of actors that have gone through the program. We had a Dutch actor many years ago who was slick. He was slick as baby shit because he, all he did is tuned in. I'm just acting this out. But for those of you, we have a couple of bad actors in here. I don't know how that translates, but it's really going to be important. And we'll do several more before the end of the seminar on Monday. And to quote our Ms. Chamber of Commerce over here, Ms. Punjabi, we do end slightly early if we're on time and we're caught up the last day. If we're not, you'll be running to get your kilt on with 5 minutes to spare. That has only happened a couple of times over the years. But the most important thing is we get to the material, and the most important thing is we're going to keep doing role play until somebody gets it near perfect. So we may be here next Wednesday. For some of you that lack the je ne sais quoi, the little extra special sauce to be able to convince somebody of something across the table, we may be here a few weeks. We'll have to see. Okay, any questions on anything we've covered to date? Marcus told me last night that our lawyer said, pretty much, our good lawyer, agreed to what we wanted him to do. And it's an interesting situation. I've alluded to it on and off since we've been going here. But he has advisors that basically are telling them, now just a minute, you can't do it. When you have a kid, oh, you can do it, you can get straight A's, or you can win the race, you can do this, you can do that. Well, his are, you can't do it, you're fucking stupid, why are you doing this? Because it's so far out of their comfort zone that, and they also know that if he does it, or when he does it, that he will be lost as a client. And right now, they're sucking up the tit of his fees. Very much similar to the milk cows that your dad milks every morning. And so, I mean, one of the final slides that we have on the last afternoon is that when you get out of here, you have 21 hours. If you don't start making changes in 21 hours, you're not going to make changes. And when you get out there, you're going to be not only against the curve, against the wave, against conventional wisdom. People are going to have disdain for you. People are going to think that something's not right with you because you're going against everything that they've been taught all their lives. And that includes your kids, your parents, your in-laws, your lawyers, your accountants, and if I've left anybody off, them too. So another one of the last slides is it's lonely at the top. And it's an article from 2000, the Silicon Valley bubble, when the companies, high-tech companies that were selling for very, very high earnings multiple all collapsed. And there was a woman CEO who was on the front page of, I believe it was Playboy magazine. And she was an extremely attractive woman. She's wearing garters but she says that it's lonely at the top because everybody looked at her prior to her founding a Silicon Valley, a successful company, as just an attractive woman and not brains, etc. And she said that the new friends that she wasn't making, because one of the things I've already told you, friends are problems. And if you want a friend, buy a dog. The friends she wasn't making, she had to adjust herself to that non-adoration that she always got all her life. For some of you that are in a deep need of friendship, that'll be harder for you. For some of you that, as my children would say, we want to have a life, Dad, it'll be more difficult for you because I will suggest that this becomes your life. Okay, if there are no questions, Thank you, Megan. We'll see you later.